Katie here from the Scrappy Sisters, and I am up with another layout for Confessions of a Paper Addict. And today is a fun one. I am doing my 2020 album cover page. So I know we're well into the year, but I just decided that I wanted to do my cover page. And so I printed out, it's a little hard to see because I've moved them off camera, but I have printed out the 2020 cut file from the Confessions of a Paper Addict cut file shop. I printed it out 3 times, just the plain text version. There is a text version that also has stars, which is super cute, but I went with the plain text version. And yeah, I'm going to create my layout using 3 repeated 2020 cut files. I just wanted to do some really subtle kind of mixed media in the background, just to make the background paper look not quite so flat. There is a pattern in the background paper. It's sort of a hexagon based pattern, and it is from Cocoa Vanilla Studio Midnight Bloom. Wait, is that what it's called? Midnight. It's just called Midnight Collection. And yeah, so I've got I think this is the Distress Ink Antique Linen, maybe? Does that sound right? It's not an oxide, it's an ink. I only have a little mini version of that. And I actually added some water and then used my fan brush to create splatters. And then I think I do the same thing with a couple of other colours. I'm just looking at my layout. It's very subtle mixed media in the background. But yes, I definitely do the same thing with this Tattered Rose. Is that what it's called? Tattered Rose? And same thing, I add the water to it and then I use my fan brush and create splatters as well. So again, as I said, it's very subtle mixed media. I didn't want to do anything too much, but I did want something in the background just to, add a little bit of interest. Sorry, I'm drinking my tea while I'm doing my voiceovers. I've got about 5 or 6 voiceovers to do in this one sitting, so I needed my sustenance to get through. So everything will be linked down below to this cut file. Obviously, you can't even see it because it's off camera, but it will be linked down below. And I use, as I said, the 2020 cut file. I will also link the Facebook group down below for Confessions of a Paper Addict. It's heaps of fun in the group. Come along and hang out with us. Virginia usually releases a free cut file once a month, which is awesome. We have a monthly competition where if you win, you can ask Virginia to design a cut file specifically to your desires, wants, loves. She will design something for you, which is super cool. And yeah, I just think it's a fun group to be a part of. So definitely come and join us. Everything will be linked down below. Now, I am setting aside my background paper just to dry off. Again, it's only splatters. It won't take long to dry. But I left this part in. So I have picked some photos from our year. And I have picked out 6 photos. And now I've made sure that they're all photos from either 2019 or the very start of 2020. So you'll look at these photos and think my son looks very young, and he is. But because it's the cover photo for my album, I wanted to use photos that were relevant at the beginning of 2020. So I just stuck a photo of my partner and I behind that first O, and this O I am using this really cute photo of Link, and I staged my little Christmas shoot myself at the end of 2019, and it says, the board at the back says, "Dear Santa, I have been very good, I promise." It says first Christmas 2019, and it's just a cute photo. And I had actually some of these photos left over that I didn't scrap with last year, so I just went through my kind of leftover photos and pulled out some from there, so I didn't even have to print any extra ones. So I've got a photo of my partner and I together, and then the rest of the photos, one of Lincoln on his own, and then the rest of the photos are either myself or my partner with Lincoln. So I would have preferred to probably stage some photos, but I just wasn't that organised. I would have loved a photo of me on my own and my partner on his own, and then, photos of us together, but I wasn't that organised. So there's no photos of like the 3 of us, but that's okay. Now I just wanted to leave this part in so you could see how I just backed the cut file with my photo, and I did the same thing on the other 2 cut files as well. So as I said, I've got 3 lots of 2020 because that's what fit onto the page nicely, I'll be honest. And just, I liked the repetitiveness of the cut file. I'm just backing that in foam. I had already backed the rest of the cut file, and I've already backed the other cut files with foam as well, but I just obviously needed to back the zeros that I had just added my photo to. And I just use, I think I've said this before, I just use foam from the $2 shop in Australia. I do have dimensionals actually from Stampin' Up, which I absolutely love, and I do use them sometimes. But when I'm when I need to pop up big things like cut files, it's quite expensive to use dimensionals and other kind of foam adhesive. So it's nice to be able to use the craft foam from the $2 shop, or the Reject Shop, sorry. Is that what? The Reject Shop. I got mine from the Reject Shop. But there are a few different places in Australia where you can pick it up. And I think it might be called Fun Foam in America, maybe. It's the same stuff. One side is adhesive and one side is not. So here are my cut files that I have cut and backed. Again, I use the Midnight collection from Cocoa Vanilla Studio. And I just sort of lined my cut file up so that it's sort of straight. They're not perfect because I don't measure anything, but they're roughly straight. You know how I go. Never measure. Close enough is good enough, right? If you are a measurer, hats off to you, but I am not. So I just kind of used my eye to guesstimate. And I think I did a pretty good job. Again, it's not perfect, but it will look great in the album, I think, as my front cover. So I am adding that, as you can see, and then I will do the same for the other two. I could have edited this part out, but it really didn't take me long, this layout. So I think all up it only took me just over kind of 20 minutes. So it's not a particularly long layout to put together. And that, again, I've said this before, but using large text or number-based cut files as your kind of main feature on a layout makes a layout come together very quickly. And backing something like this with the large letters or numbers, in this case, is quick, because the area that you're backing with paper is quite large. So it is a good place to start. And I know this is a bit of a theme for my DT projects this month so far, that I've used a lot of large text or number-based cut files, but I just really like them. Now, I've picked out a few embellishments from the Midnight collection. I don't have a hell of a lot left, but I've picked out a few to create a couple of little clusters around my layout. And so I'm going with some mason jars and a couple of florals in the bottom left corner, which you can see me putting there. I did pull out the titles that come. Cocoa Vanilla Studio often do titles, or words, sorry, thick die cut words is a whole pack. They have heaps of words in them. So I went with some of those and created a title that says The Story of Us. And I thought that would make a great title. And then I've just got a couple of other small embellishment pieces which I've kind of scattered. So I've got a little Shine Bright banner, and I have a little word strip that says All Smiles up in the top right. And that's it. That is literally all that I'm doing. So I'm sticking down my embellishment clusters in the bottom left. I just needed to stick down the mason jar and the floral to the layout on the flat onto the background paper. Ooh, that took longer to say than it should have, before I stuck down my cut file. So that's why I kind of placed everything first, so that I could make sure I stuck down that mason jar before I stuck down my cut file, because I didn't want to have to peel it back up and have to try and tuck something underneath there. So I'm just going to stick down the rest of my embellishments, and then I will add some Nuvo drops, because that's been my favourite thing to do at the moment. Again, in that same new colour that I have got just sitting on my desk. I really need to do my voiceovers at my scrapbooking desk, and I would have the bottle of Nuvo drops in front of me, but I actually often do my voiceovers downstairs, just because my partner's often sitting upstairs when I want to do a voiceover, and I don't want him to feel like he can't make any noise. So I often move downstairs to do my voiceovers, which is good. It just means I don't have my Scrappy supplies in front of me, so I can quickly tell you the name. I still think it's Antique Rose, and I know I've said that every video so far, and I still haven't checked. So I have stuck down all of my title and my ephemera pieces, I'm pretty sure. And then I just come in with some Nuvo drops and we're finished. So it's a super quick layout, as I said, to put together. I didn't over embellish. I just kept it pretty simple. I wanted the photos to do the talking because obviously it's my cover page layout. So, you know, I just wanted the photos to be the focus, and I think they are in this particular layout. Obviously there's 6 of them, a good way to get multiple photos on a layout too. And I'm really pleased with it. I think it's really lovely. So I'm very happy with this start to my layout. And actually it means I've finished my first album of 2020. So I should do a flip through soon too, actually. If anyone would like to see a flip through of any of my 2020 albums, I have a few of them, let me know and I will film some flip throughs. I also didn't share the end of my 2019 album, I don't think. So if you guys like to see flip throughs, let me know and I will happily film one. So as I said, I'm adding my Nouveau drops and then I'm going to be all finished. So make sure you check the description box down below for all of the links to the relevant bits and pieces. So there'll be a link to the Confessions of a Paper Addict Etsy store, as well as a direct link to this cut file. And then there'll be a link to the Facebook group. So definitely come along and join us and hang out. We love seeing you and having fun. And we just have a lot of fun in there, and sometimes we do some sneaky little live videos and freebies and all sorts. So it's definitely a fun place to come and hang out. So I will show you a close-up of my layout now. If you want to see more photos, definitely come over to the Facebook page because I share a lot more photos over there. And it was great having you. We will look forward to seeing you in our next video. All right, guys. Bye.